Walmart feeds more Americans than any other company on the planet. 72% of all U.S. households buy groceries there, over 190 million people every single month. And for millions of families living in food deserts, it's the only option within 10 miles. So when I tell you that some of the most popular products in those aisles contain chemicals that are flat out illegal in Europe, banned in dozens of countries, and linked to everything from lead contamination to cancer-causing preservatives, that's not a lifestyle take. That's a public health crisis hiding behind a smiley face rollback sticker. Today, we're going product by product. 7 Walmart foods you should never put in your cart again, and 3 that are genuinely worth your money. Let's get into it. The 7 worst. Number 7. Great Value White Sandwich Bread. $1, 20 ounces. Sounds like the ultimate budget win. But this bread is an engineering project, not a recipe. The ingredient list includes DATEM, a commercial dough conditioner that lets manufacturers use lower quality wheat and skip the natural resting process, calcium propionate as a chemical preservative, soybean oil, monoglycerides. And this is the part that gets people. Shoppers report this bread either molds suspiciously fast or refuses to decompose for weeks. That gummy texture that sticks to the roof of your mouth, that's the dough conditioners. In Europe, several of the additives routinely used in American white bread, like potassium bromate and azotocarbonamide, are outright banned. Great Value uses DATEM instead, but the regulatory philosophy is the same. Engineer it for shelf life, not for your body. Your swap? If you can afford the jump, Dave's Killer Bread at $6.42 a loaf is available right there at Walmart. USDA organic. No dough conditioners, 5 grams of protein, and 5 grams of fiber per slice. Or bake your own for about 72 cents a loaf. Flour, water, yeast, salt. That's it. Number 6. Great Value Processed Cheese Singles. $2.48 for a 16-ounce pack. And right there on the front, if you look carefully, it doesn't say cheese. It says pasteurized prepared cheese product. That's a legal designation because this doesn't qualify as actual cheese under FDA rules. The ingredient list includes sodium phosphates as emulsifying salts, sorbic acid as a preservative, modified food starch, and artificial coloring. 320 milligrams of sodium per slice. In taste tests, reviewers describe these as overly bouncy and gelatinous when heated. They don't melt like real cheese. They turn into a viscous, rubbery film. European sliced cheese products don't use phosphate emulsifiers at this level. Your swap? A block of Great Value sharp cheddar for $1.87. That's real cheese, pasteurized milk, cultures, salt, enzymes. 4 ingredients. Slice it yourself and save your arteries. Number 5. Great Value Ice Cream. Except it's not ice cream. $3 for a 48-ounce tub. Sounds great until you read the fine print. A lot of these tubs are legally classified as frozen dairy dessert, not ice cream. The FDA requires real ice cream to contain at least 10% milk fat. Great Value swaps expensive milk fat for cheap whey powder, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, and chemical gums like carrageenan and guar gum to fake a creamy texture. Consumers say this product doesn't even melt normally. It breaks down into a warm synthetic foam because the gums and emulsifiers are holding air and water together, not actual dairy. You're paying for whipped air and chemical stabilizers. Your swap? Häagen-Dazs is pricier at around $15 scaled to the same size, but the ingredients are cream, milk, sugar, eggs, and vanilla. If budget matters, just check the label for the words ice cream, not frozen dairy dessert. That distinction is everything. Number 4. Great Value Canned Spaghetti Rings with Meatballs. $1.08 for a 15-ounce can. Marketed to kids as a quick lunch. But this is a nutritional disaster. The meatballs are bulked out with textured soy protein and soy isolate instead of actual meat. The sauce is sweetened with high fructose corn syrup to mask cheap, acidic tomatoes. And a single can packs 1,050 milligrams of sodium, nearly half the daily recommended limit in one sitting. Quick break. If this list is making you rethink your grocery run, hit subscribe and drop a comment telling me which product caught you off guard. Alright, let's keep going. But the can itself might be the biggest problem. Independent testing has found that the majority of private label cans, including Great Value, test positive for BPA-based epoxy resins in the lining. BPA is a documented endocrine disruptor linked to breast cancer, prostate cancer, and developmental issues in children. And high-acid foods like tomato sauce are the worst offenders for leaching that BPA directly into the food. Your swap? Homemade spaghetti and meatballs using real ground beef, whole wheat pasta, and fresh crushed tomatoes. The per-serving cost matches or beats the can when you batch cook it, and you eliminate the soy fillers, the HFCS, and the BPA risk entirely. Number 3. Great Value Breakfast Sausage. $5.78 for the frozen patties, $3.88 for the refrigerated roll. And this is where it gets genuinely alarming. The ingredient list includes BHA, butylated hydroxyanisole, classified as a reasonably anticipated human carcinogen by the National Toxicology Program. It also contains propyl gallate, MSG, and corn syrup solids. 640 milligrams of sodium per 100 grams and 60% of your daily saturated fat. Shoppers on Reddit describe an extreme amount of grease rendering out of these patties, shrinking the usable meat significantly. The flavor comes from the MSG, not from quality spices. Jimmy Dean uses a similar chemical profile with BHT and MSG, so the name brand isn't much better. Your swap: buy plain ground pork at about $3.10 a pound and mix it with sage, salt, pepper, and a little maple syrup. You make breakfast sausage in 5 minutes, you control the fat ratio, and you eliminate the BHA, the MSG, and the corn syrup entirely. Number 2. Great Value Chicken Nuggets. $5.97 for a 3-pound bag. The meat contains up to a 15% solution of water, MSG, and sodium phosphates injected directly into the chicken. The phosphates force the meat to retain water weight, which means you're paying for chemically bound water, not protein. The breading adds maltodextrin, soybean oil, and caramel color. But here's what pushes this to number 2. On April 1, 2026, the USDA issued a public health alert for the Great Value dino-shaped chicken nuggets after testing revealed lead contamination at up to 5 times the FDA's safety threshold. Lead in children's chicken nuggets. That's not a manufacturing quirk. That's a supply chain failure. Your swap? Just bare chicken breast chunks if you want frozen convenience. Whole muscle cuts with a clean ingredient list. Or cut up chicken breast yourself, dip it in egg wash and seasoned flour, and bake it. Costs about 15 cents an ounce, and you know exactly what's in it. Number 1. The Walmart Deli Rotisserie Chicken. $4.98 to $5.97. Everyone thinks this is a clean, single-ingredient protein source. It's not. To keep it juicy under heat lamps for hours, Walmart injects a chemical brine containing sodium phosphates and carrageenan. The result? 520 milligrams of sodium in a single 3-ounce serving. Eat half a breast and a thigh at dinner, and you're easily hitting 1,500 milligrams in one meal. Sodium phosphate doesn't just inflate the sodium count. It alters the cellular structure of the meat to trap water molecules inside the tissue. Research links elevated serum phosphate levels to accelerated vascular aging and kidney strain, and carrageenan is an inflammatory agent linked to severe gut distress that's banned from infant formula in Europe. Consumers on Reddit describe Walmart's rotisserie chickens as unnaturally soft, mushy, and, quote, embalmed. The deli supply chain is also notoriously vulnerable to listeria and salmonella outbreaks. Your swap? Buy a raw, unbrined whole chicken for $7 to $10 and roast it yourself. 70 milligrams of sodium per serving instead of 520. Zero carrageenan. Zero phosphate injection. It takes an hour and it changes the entire meal. The 3 that are actually safe. All right, Walmart isn't all bad. Their supply chain scale actually makes a few products genuinely excellent values. Here are 3 that belong in your cart. Safe pick number 3. Great Value Organic Black Beans. 79 cents a can. 3 ingredients. Organic black beans, water, sea salt, no firming agents, no calcium chloride, no preservatives. This matches Aldi's Simply Nature price exactly and actually undercuts Costco's bulk pricing without requiring a membership fee. At 5 cans a week, you save $182 a year compared to a name brand like Bush's. This is the highest value to nutrition ratio in the entire store. Safe pick number 2. Great Value Organic Frozen Vegetables and Berries. $1 to $3 a bag. Single ingredient. Organic blueberries or organic broccoli florets. 0 additives, 0 sodium, 0 EU-restricted chemicals. Flash frozen at peak ripeness, which often makes them more nutrient-dense than the fresh produce that spent 2 weeks in a refrigerated truck. At 3 bags a week, you save $312 a year compared to the same product at Whole Foods. Registered dietitians call store-brand frozen organics the best budget hack in the grocery store. Safe pick number 1. Dave's Killer Bread, sold at Walmart. $6.42 a loaf. Yes, it's 6 times more expensive than the dollar bread we just roasted. But the ingredient list justifies every cent. Organic whole wheat, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, rolled oats, No datum, no azotocarbonamide, no artificial preservatives, 5 grams of protein, and 5 grams of fiber per slice. Buying it at Walmart saves you $1 per loaf compared to Whole Foods. At 2 loaves a week, that's $104 saved annually while eating bread that actually qualifies as food.